as we get more and more and get busier, hopefully get more followers, get more engagement, we can add some more technology into this. I see a lot of people doing it. I just don't know how to do it. And, you know, the Magnetic Men channel, the channel itself, the website, the Facebook group, all the videos, you know, all of that stuff, obviously, you guys know this, costs money. And it takes me a lot of time to do this. But on top of that, I have 3 other companies. So the first company that we're exploding, and we actually have, it'll be out this week. It's an interview with my partner Steve on the iSmash franchise. Now, Steve's the founder. We have a small ownership role in the franchise itself. I have the Syracuse location, and we're going to be expanding into Myrtle Beach sometime in April or May of next year by the time it gets open. But as of now, that particular business, I mean, we started with 2, and it's like 47 paid in, you know, different various stages of development. So that thing's going very well. So that keeps me busy. I have responsibilities in the Syracuse location, and we're trying to get some, you know, content or get some numbers put together for Myrtle Beach. So that keeps me busy. The other company I have is that hair loss company, Scalp International Hairlines. I have one here, again, in Syracuse and in Raleigh, North Carolina. So when you guys see some of the podcasts that Chase and I do, oftentimes I'm in Raleigh because I'm busier down there. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to be closing the Syracuse center the end of this year, because look at upstate New York as a whole. New York as a whole, it's just dying. It's going to be a flyover state. The politicians have ran this fucking state into the ground. You go down to North Carolina, South Carolina, they can't build stuff fast enough. They have it right down there. And so there's a lot of people who are leaving New York State. And because they're leaving New York State, because the taxes up here are ridiculous, the regulations are ridiculous, people just don't have the money they used to. I started my hair loss company 10 years ago up here, and it was busy. It was profitable. And I'm not saying it's not profitable. It's pulling me away from other things that I can make more money on. And so chances are really good I'm going to close the New York and then focus on the Raleigh location and probably expand that actually into South Carolina and do scalp micropigmentation down there as well. So I have that company, I have iSmash, of course I have Magnetic Men, and when I do my private coaching, of course that takes up a lot of time because it's one-on-one. I do that limited basis because I can't take on as many people as I'd like. End of this year, once I free up this business model, I can add more people. So the whole point of it is, as I leave industries, I'm going into other ones or doubling down on other industries. So that's how I'm 49 years old. That's how I have always sort of run my life. I've always reinvented myself. I've always tried to stay as current with trends, and as the markets start changing, I start looking for different opportunities in those markets. Up until 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I don't remember, I had 350 rental properties up in Syracuse, up in my area. I got rid of all of them because I was getting tired of it. I did it for 20 years. B, New York just sucks. We've already established that. They literally, during COVID, changed the way I could evict people. I had the final straw was there's a lady, I bought a property 2 months before COVID actually hit. And I kind of inherited her. And then as soon as COVID hit, she quit paying. I couldn't get her out the entire time this COVID bullshit was going on. She basically lived there for 3 years. And when I say she destroyed this house, I'm not saying she messed it up. We had to gut it down to the studs. She let animals stay in there, crap all over the place. She left windows open in the basement so that the pipes exploded. It was horrible. That was the final straw because that took something like $52,000 I had to put in between fees and penalties. Of course, fucking, Syracuse, they wanted their pound of flesh on, you let her stay here. No fuckers, you guys won't let me get rid of her. Anyway, I had to pay all these fees, all these fines. That was the final straw. I got that property put together. It was in a package, and I started having my realtor shotgun these out. Luckily, the rates during that time were like 2%, 3%, 4%. There was a massive buying spree going on up here. And so I did pretty well. I got rid of them. And started taking that money, reinvesting it into the iSmash brand and obviously Magnetic Men, the app that we put together that costs a lot of money, not only in time, but in obviously resources like cash. So I've never really been afraid to take on risk. I've lost businesses. A lot of businesses that I've done didn't take off. Some did take off. I mean, it's just the nature of the game. So I never really worry about future outcomes that may never happen. I try to hedge as best I can, but I always try to move forward. And I know there's a lot of people who do very well, much more than me, and their idea is to focus on one industry and beat the hell out of it. And I do agree with that. But I get bored very quickly. I need to have that stimulation of talking to people one-on-one through my coaching, through the app, through doing videos. But then I need to kind of focus on the iSmash thing. It's something completely different. And so for me, I can operate 3 companies. Could I do one company and kill it? Probably. But I know me, and I know I would get bored with that model. So I can't effectively grow the way I probably should or probably could. But I have learned over the last few years to let some businesses go. Look at the real estate did great. I mean, I was still making money, just dealing with a lot of bullshit. I could have easily bought up a bunch of more properties. I could have easily focused only on the real estate and done very well with my life and never started Magnetic Men, never started iSmash. But I was bored with it. And once I'm bored with something, it doesn't mean I'll never go back to it, but I'll do it in a different way. And so, so I know you're a little bit older. You mentioned you're in this stage of maybe retooling your life, and it's okay. Like, you you mentioned you have, middle-aged kids, so I'm assuming middle school, high school, early high school, and you got a wife, and of course you have to look at that and make sure you have enough resources coming in and not just burn down Rome. But there is a lot of things that you can do inside of our app that we created. I'll send you a link to that. We do have business opportunities. We do talk business in there. It's not just about power dynamics, but it is about business, how you can set up a business, how you can grow an existing business. Maybe it's plateauing. So we have a lot of practical advice in there, but it's in the action. It's really just in that action and making a decision to act. And this is where a lot of guys get caught up. They have an idea, they want to do something more, they want to do something better, they want to do something different, whatever it is. And they can envision themselves doing it. They can put themselves in that forward-thinking space where, yeah, I can see myself doing this, but they don't take the action to actually do it. They get what's called paralysis of analysis. I was coaching a guy, this was about a year ago. He had a business that was actually pretty interesting. He wanted to buy, it's like this shredder, where it shreds tires and it separates the rubber from the metal inside the banding, I guess, inside tires. And it was a mobile shredder. And I think he had to get it like overseas or something. It cost a lot of money. But he did his market research and he realized that up in this area, there's a lot of like dump sites that the city or the county, like, they don't really know what to do. They have people illegally dump for years and years. There's all these tires. Well, there's money in rubber and there's money in this, but nobody wants the actual tire. They want the grounding rubber, and that can be used for landscaping, for dunnage, for drainage. I know certain municipalities, or there's other places that he could actually sell that, I don't know what it's called, just the rubber, and they mix it in with asphalt. There's tons of industries he can sell it to. And then, of course, he can take the metal, even though they're very small shards or very small bands, but you do enough of that, you can sell it to a scrapper and make money that way. But the machine was probably like $700,000. He can get a used one for a little bit less than that. And he did all the research. He even started making contact with people. I'm like, yes, we would love to do that. Even to municipalities, maybe it was like $3 a tire that he would charge them. And he would had different models. Like, if you guys wanted the rubber still, I'll shred it on your site and just dump the rubber, and I'll take the metal. And he was able to like reduce the price because he's not dumping it someplace, it's there. Anyway, it was about a year ago, a little bit longer. I ran into his wife probably about a month or two ago, and I said, hey, how's Greg doing? Did he ever do anything with his business idea? And she was like, no, I shot that down. I didn't think that was a good business idea. So he had to deal with that. Like, literally, like, he let her tell him no. And a lot of men have to deal with that when they're married. I don't agree with it, but hey, that's not for me. It's like, listen, he was really excited about doing this. This was something that he could do because he was actually a fireman. So the way that his schedule was, half the month he wasn't working. So he could literally grab his truck, grab this machine, do it, maybe hire one person to help with the tires. But like, he was doing this on time that he was already making income. And she shot it down. It happens a lot, sadly. A lot of men listen to their wives. I'm not saying not listen to their wives, but it's all up to you to make the final decision. You're the head of the household. You're the one who's putting up the money. She didn't put up the money. The idea was you put up our money. No, the idea is I put up the money and my credit that I used to buy this machine. And it wasn't affecting her life. The income still came in. She still worked. So, guys, you have to deal with that. If you have a bitchy wife or a wife who's not on your team, well, then, good luck with that. That's a whole other issue. Fast forward maybe a couple weeks ago, guess what I saw? This same exact business concept being promoted locally. It wasn't this guy, it was somebody else. And I sent it to him. I said, man, and he was already doing it, I just didn't know. He just started it, but here's the kicker. He already had write-ups in paper about the next best thing, the thing, like he was literally helping people get rid of their tires, helping municipalities. Like people loved it. And he had pre-orders or pre-stations for the next year. It was so busy, he got another order for another bigger machine. I sent it to him. I said, man, see what happens when you listen to your wife? And he's like, how did you know? I said, I talked to her a couple weeks ago. The problem is you have to do what's right for you and your family. If your wife is telling you no and you listen to that, even though you're not having a dialogue, like she shut it down. Dude, this is why a lot of men's dreams fucking die, because they listen to outside influences. And I don't give a shit if it's your wife or not. I never, when I was married, and my current girlfriend now knows never to get involved in my businesses. Never. I don't want their input. I don't need their input. I got to where I am now off my efforts. And this is the attitude a lot of guys need to have, instead of placating to their wife and worry like, oh, she's going to get mad. Like, oh my God, what if she divorced me? For what? Because you want more for your family? You have an idea that excites you? You have a way to get into an industry that nobody's thinking about? That makes no sense to me. It never has made sense to me. It never will. Thankfully, my wife at the time, she knew, like, I already went into the military. I already had advanced training that I never needed a woman to fucking cheer me on when I was going through my pipeline. I got out fairly young, 26, started a family with her. So she knew, like, I ain't telling this motherfucker anything. Like, the shit he's already done early on, there's nothing I can help him with. Now, the role of the wife, the role of her was to help raise the children, to be of a support to me. And I've never diminished her for that. But I don't need a business partner. Fuck that. Fast forward to my girlfriend now. She lives in South Carolina. I'm in New York. Sometimes it sucks because we can't see each other as much as possible, but she knew what she was signing up for when we first started dating. So that the whole idea is, like, if she started doing a power moves, like, if you're not down here more, I'm leaving you, she knows what my answer would be. It'd be like, cool, bye. It's not that I don't want to be down there more. It's like I have other obligations, other opportunities, other things I'm doing, and this is the way I'm wired. And that is a big part of why she loves me. Yes, it does suck that she doesn't have access to me as much, but what would be the alternative, guys? You're around all day playing with little Timmy, little Sarah. You're at the games all the time, and you're just there. Like, that's not a man's role. You should be out there fucking hustling and grinding and doing your thing so that your wife and your kids have a better life. Yes, your wife can work. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, you want to give her the opportunity. You don't have to work if you don't want to. But if you want to, that's great. But you don't have to. And eventually that'll be the opportunity that my girlfriend, eventually I will, we'll get engaged and all that. I'm not in a rush. But she'll have that opportunity. Be like, listen, if you want to work, great. Maybe you want to throttle back. But that's the opportunity. But the opportunity for her to do that comes at a cost for her too. There's an opportunity cost that I'm going to have to give up some of time with him. I'm going to have to give up seeing him all the time for me, or for him to be able to afford to maybe make me work part-time, or for me to be able to afford to spend more time with my kids. Somebody's got to go out there fucking slaying the dragons. That's me. That's what I love to do. When my then wife, she passed away 10 years ago, but when the kids were younger, she only worked a few hours a week, and it was mostly because she just wanted it for her sanity, and I don't blame her. But she didn't have to work. She wanted to work, and when she did, I was there, or maybe her mom was there, or my mom was there. The point is, you want to set yourself into a position where you can tell the women that you love, your wife, your girlfriend, maybe you're younger watching this, set yourself up for success so that that person in your life has an opportunity not to work raise the kids if they want, or work a little bit just to gain some clarity, get some sanity, be around other people. Totally get that. But when a wife tells her husband, no, you're not doing this, it's silly, it's stupid, that is, to me, one of the worst things the woman can do. She should support him in everything that he does. Now, they can talk about it, they can go through it. She didn't even want to go through the business plan with him. She was just an automatic no because it inconvenienced her. I would have gotten rid of that bitch as soon as she said no. But that's all I have on that part. It's just like, you have to do what's best for you first. And then what's best for you, if it can help your family, if you have an idea that can help your family, then that's all the more reason to do it.